So the bigger the vision you have, the more important it is for you on what type of a team you're going to put around you. Simple as that. And I think one of the challenges with people when it's about putting a team around them, they want to be something they're not. So it's everybody wants to be the Shaq or the LeBron or the Kobe instead of realizing what your strength is. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm going to talk about 10 different roles, strengths, and departments within a company. So as you're looking at this, everybody that's looking at this, you may be at a different position in your life. You may be a salesperson, you may be an entrepreneur that's just getting started, maybe a mid-sized business that you may look at this and say, this is what we lack. Or you may be somebody that's an executive and an owner part of a company that's saying, this is what area I am very good at and I need to reposition myself here. Regardless of where you're at, this is how I want you to look at this here. This video is for you, no one else. I want you to look at this video as you. And as I go through this, I need you to ask yourself, which one is me? Give me your 1, 2, 3, yourself. I'm 1 this, 2 this, 3 this. And if you think that's you, verify it with somebody who knows you very well for them to say, I really think you're more this, this, this. If you're willing to get some honest feedback from somebody. So let's get right into it. Look, 10 different roles within a company. First, we have the biz dev. And nothing is in a specific order. I'm just telling you what's what. First, you have the biz dev. Somebody who is doing business development for a company. What is biz dev? Here's what biz dev is. In the world of politics, if you're running a country, an ambassador that is a U.S. ambassador that deals with relations in the Middle East, hypothetically, the biz dev person is doing the dirty work. Very, very important role, but they do the dirty work. So you need to go out there and sit and talk to the political powers, the senators, the congressman, the president of a country in the Middle East, Iran, Kuwait, whatever it is, and ask them. They're going to say, no, we really don't like your president that he announced this, that. Or we really don't like how this partnership or relationship's going on. We don't like how you're doing this. That's biz dev. And the ambassador is supposed to create a synergy of them still wanting to do business together and bring in a relationship that possibly was sour, rekindle. This is rekindle. This is strengthen. This is rebuild. This is a lot of re is biz dev. Okay, next. We can go into the visionary. The visionary is what a lot of people want to become visionaries, but not everybody's a visionary. Let me explain to what I mean by what is not everybody's a visionary. If you ask in basketball, everybody wants to be like Mike, modern day. Everybody wanted to be a Kobe, or everybody wants to be a LeBron James. But maybe you're a Steve Kerr, you know? Maybe you're somebody that's a, Steph Curry. Maybe you're somebody that's just a role player. Maybe you're a 6th man. Maybe you're a big guy that you don't have good footwork, but you're somebody that the other center is getting good on working with you because you're stronger. You push him out, you're bullying him, and you're strengthening him. Maybe you're somebody that's good at playing with the guys and doing their legs and tape and all this other stuff. So what is the role you're playing? A visionary would generally be called the CEO. Now, sometimes some companies make the mistake of just because somebody's title is CEO doesn't mean they're a visionary. Sometimes companies make a mistake and they hire a operations person who becomes a CEO, and what this guy who's an operation internally but is the CEO, all he's trying to do is make all the systems perfect. And they're wondering how come the company's not exploding, because you're not a CEO. You're operations. You're a COO, not a CEO. You're not a face. You're not someone that's going to say, we're going to go and take over this market. And let me give you a good example of a CEO. I'm going to butcher his name, Roberto Goizueta. Say it again. Goizueta. Okay, this guy is a fascinating guy to study. He's a Cuban immigrant. Okay, went to Yale. Just so you know this, he used to make $500 a month as a chemical engineer. Then he comes to America, and somehow, some way, after being an immigrant from Cuba, he becomes the CEO of Coca-Cola, and he goes from making $500 a month to getting an $83 million bonus check when he worked at Coca-Cola. So why is this? Why did this happen? Well, for the longest time, Coca-Cola dominated the marketplace for the longest time. Now, in the early 80s, Pepsi started coming close to the point where Pepsi got 23% of the market share and Coca-Cola only had 22%. Now, Roberto gets hired in 1981, I believe is when he gets hired, okay? And this number I just gave you, 23% to 21%, 22%, Pepsi over Coke. Pepsi moved past Coke, first time ever. They pass Coke, Roberto comes in, and here's what he asks. Look at the way he thinks. He says, Well, I want to know this. The average human being, how much do they drink a day? And they say, Roberto, this is how much we're selling right now, bottles of Coke per day. So no. I'm asking you, how much do they consume of drinks per day? What are you talking about? Listen, how much does a person drink? Water, milk, tea, juice, iced tea, Coke. I want to know everything. How much does a person drink? They're like, oh my God, where's this guy going with this thing here? Here's how they drink. Then he comes back, he says, that's exactly what we need to do. I want a bigger market share of how much somebody consumes of drinks. Fascinating. Look what happens then. So what does he come out with? Here's what he comes out with. Most of us only know about Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, all these other things. Ready? Minute Maid is a Coke product. Okay, Fanta is a Coke product. We got Dasani water is a Coke product. Nestea tea, Coke product. Bacardi mixers is a Coke product. Okay, severe flavored milks, root beer, Odwalla juices, Zico coconut waters. You know how many people nowadays like to drink the coconut waters? That's his. Powerade, his. Simply Orange, his. High C is his. You know what ends up happening with Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola goes from the type of numbers that we're putting up, which in 1981 was $4.3 billion per year, to $152 billion per year. They're today selling 2 billion Coca-Cola bottles per day. 2 billion is what they sell per day. Now, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? It happened because Coca-Cola went and hired a visionary. Not because they got an operations guy. They hired a visionary. And the visionary said, we need to get more of this. So are you a CEO type yourself? That could motivate you, but maybe you're not the visionary type, and that's fine. Operation, what's operation? System, CRM, flow. How long does it take from the person that looks at your website to buying the product to converting to being a be-back customer? What can we make to get these customers that we have? We have 60,000 customers here. What can we do to get these 60,000 customers to help us get to their 60,000 customers, because we're so good on the front end, but we're not doing good on this side here. You know, what CRM do we need? How can we get the calendar to be better up? You know, hiring new people. We need more staff here. We need a person here. We need to fire this person. We need to renegotiate this here. This thing's not working out. This vendor that's operations. Operations are thinking like that. Operations will come in and say, I can make the operations of this better. So critical. Maybe boring to some. It's so critical for any company. So that would be a COO. Then we have finance. Finance is QuickBooks, payroll, commissions, vendor checks, attorneys, making sure attorneys, you're negotiating the contracts with the attorneys the right way, CPA, accounting, the team, assistant analysts, all these things that you're going to have to do when you're running finance. By the way, when you're a rookie entrepreneur, guess what you are? Every one of them is what you are, okay? So then you have the CFO on the finance side. Then you have expansion. Who's expansion? Somebody that says, you know, we need to go to a brand new marketplace. So expansion thinks about building a team together for us to go to a new market. This could be a chief expansion officer. There's actually a chief expansion officer. It sounds like a CEO, but it's a chief expansion officer. And their job is simply, hey, we're not in East Coast. We want to go into East Coast. What do we need to do? Great. Hey, we're not in South America. What do we need to do? For you, it may be local. Like somebody came and visited me when I was in Palm Springs. He drove all the way down to come and visit me, and he runs a mobile detailing company, which I'm very familiar with, the mobile detailing company. And nowadays, it's getting into the app side. There's a lot of opportunity in that as well, similar to Uber, that you just order something and somebody comes and services your car, right? And there's high-end $100, like right now, literally 3 minutes before I did the video, my BMW i8 just got serviced. Somebody comes, does it, you don't even see it, just it gets done, they pick it up, they clean it, right? Okay. So he came to me and he says, hey, what do I do? So he's in San Diego, and how does he get into, you know, maybe a Temecula market? How does he get into Riverside? How do he get into LA? The expansion for that person may be within that area. Somebody can put a strategy on how to do that. Marketing. Marketing is just very, very critical. This could be a CMO. Marketing could be, when a customer thinks about our company, what's the first word that comes to mind? What do our employees think about our company? What do our customers, what does the market, what does our competitors, what does our enemy think about us? How do we want to market our product? Which funnels are we using? Is it more about social media? Is it more about internet? Should we go on TV? What is our ROI on TV? Are we really doing this because we want people to look at our commercial and come and buy? They don't really do it for that, but maybe it's effective if we spend this $3.5 million to put a commercial on Super Bowl because our competitors are going to see that we're doing better, or maybe our existing customers are going to say, wow, I'm so glad, that's my guy, that's my guy, that's my guy. So it keeps our clients with us and it keeps them proud. Or no, we don't need to do Super Bowl, it's not our market watches this. Or our demographic is people that are between 25 to 35 years old. Our guys watch TV, our guys don't watch soap operas. Why are we wasting our time doing? So marketing thinks that way, okay? Complete different way. Marketing in a way also thinks about a person who's a marketer. Like if you're a marketer, you know how you think. If you're a marketer, marketers think completely different. They go into a restaurant and they literally look at everything as a marketer. It's a completely different eyeball that they have. Next is legal. What's legal? In every industry, there's compliance, there's laws, there's making sure you are compliant with the regulators or whatever. That with financial industry is FINRA, SEC, all these other things that you're dealing on that side. And real estate is going to be Department of Real Estate, on Department of Insurance. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Technology is going to be a whole different law that you're right in. Anything there is legal. So you got to make sure you have a strong legal team. Sometimes the A-type personalities, they don't like to touch this here because we don't need any help with this. Why would we worry about compliance? Come on, man. No one cares about compliance. Big mistake, because you need the contracting to be right. I spend a lot of money in that area and I have no problem with it because it's very, very critical to stay compliant with your business. But you may be watching and saying, that's me. I love those types of things. Phenomenal. It could be information. What's information? Somebody that's very good at research, somebody that's very good at studying competition, somebody that's very good at studying trends and keeping track of updating and saying, just so you know, today in the market, AIG CEO Carl Icahn was called out by Peter, and this is what happened with him, and they said this, and did you hear about what happened today in the Silicon Valley marketplace? A new startup was raised $200 million on their round 3, and they're going after this, and did you hear about the fintech market? Whatever information guy is going to give you what is going on today. And this is beneficial because this helps the visionary know how to go to the next step. This helps the marketer know what adjustments to make. This helps the expansion person know what marketplaces that we need to go and expand and what not to waste our money and resources into. This helps finance know how to adjust. Hey, this is what's going on over the next 6 to 12 months. We should be experiencing this or we should be experiencing that. That's information. So CIO, and then you have product development. Which product development is what? Product development is somebody that says, I'm designing a product. Typically, product development, they're wired in a completely different way. They will take a look at this packaging and they'll say, I wonder why they put these 4 things in the back. I don't like it. I think it makes it flimsy, and I think the packaging should be done a little bit different. See how hard it is? This should be easier because when you do it this way, sometimes it's tougher. So it takes 3 seconds to package this with a machine. And I know they just look at it a different way than you and I do. A product development person could say, we need to come out with a mortgage product today that is going to make the regulators happy, because the regulators are very concerned about not having a NAGAM product that's a pick a payment or negative amortization. That's not going to affect this. So to make the regulators have, why don't we come up with this? But to make the cost low, why don't we get rid of this? Great. They work in a completely different way. Very important for product development to be in communication with the rest of the guys. I regularly in the insurance industry, I get calls and I sit on several different boards that they'll call me and they'll say, what do you think the insurance financial industry needs to look at right now next as a product? And we'll have a long conversation about areas that I believe they need to completely change and revolutionize, because the insurance industry needs a lot of disrupting right now. Then you have sales. By the way, nothing happens without sales, just so you know this. So a lot of times, we put so much attention into everything else, so much attention. Every position is very important. Every position is very important, that you forget to put constant emphasis here. If you look at companies that go through this, they start going through a downfall, you will see almost every single time, if it goes through this, you can, 80% of the time, you can go and point it to sales. Why? A great sales manager is no longer there. A chairman of agency who was running the entire sales department is gotten too casual because his bonuses are so easy now that he knows he's going to hit the bonuses within 4 months, and he's golfing 4 months out of you. You got to make some changes to the bonus structure, right? So you have a person that is barely working and you know nothing about it because everything is based on no scheduling. So you think he's working, but he's not. And you need to make an adjustment and go and partner with Salesforce.com because you need to make sure that the guys are logging in every single day what appointment they ran and who was the person with, and put a number there. And you need to run a minimum of this many appointments. You need to spend this much money. You cannot spend more than this at a bar, and to track that. Okay, you can see this. So you may be somebody watching this and saying, I'm a salesperson. I'm a great sales trainer. I'm a great person that can build an army. And here's the weird thing. You want to know something? They typically make more money than every one of these guys. Just so you know this. Just so you know this. These guys typically make the most money. I know this sounds strange. They definitely make more money than these guys. They make generally the most money because if these guys are not getting paid, what's the motivation behind the company's done? Like, you think Coca-Cola survives without their guys that are going out there selling Coca-Cola to the local? No, it's a done deal. So sales is very, very critical. So you got to look at this, and you may say, Pat, you know what? I'm very good with people. I can pretty much go in a room and strike a conversation with anybody and get information and talk to people, and they'll tell me anything, and I'm a chameleon. I can get on. Well, you may be a biz dev person. Good for you. I'm a very strong salesperson. I can sell. I'm good with sales. I know how to ask the right questions, and I know that sales flow, and I'm good at teaching this. Excellent. I'm a visionary. I'm this, I'm that. Regardless of what you are, you got to really take an assessment of yourself and ask, what is my strength? Top 3. What is my dominant one that I am? Okay, for yourself. And what can I do to become better at that by studying others who have done those areas? Now, the complete opposite side, if you're running a company, you got to ask, who is who? What am I lacking? Generally, as a startup, you're going to wear 7 different hats. When you get started, you may be the visionary, the biz dev, the sales, the operations, the finance, the expansion, all of these. Okay, and you may have an attorney that you put on your retainer that you have hired, but they're helping you out. You give them $10,000 as a retainer, and everything else for you. Your chief information officer is a guy named Google. Yeah, that's what you do. You're Googling everything to find out what it is, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. Eventually, if you want to compete at the higher market, and if you want to get the bigger share of whatever industry you're part of, you need all these 10 different guys on your team, and you need to know which role you play the best and become the best you can within that area while knowing how all the other people are wired as well. So hopefully today, you may say, Pat, so what was really the outcome of this video? To kind of know what each person does and to kind of know what's needed to build a strong team, strong foundation. Again, this is another one of those episodes that I can go 3 more hours with you and just go dive extremely deep into this and break everything down and address questions. But this is a simple video we're doing on the YouTube channel. Maybe on another setting, we'll have an opportunity to dive into a little bit deeper into this subject here. So anyways, hey, by the way, for those of you guys that are looking at these shirts, we've sold hundreds of these around the world already. If you haven't purchased one, this is the entrepreneur's uniform. Everybody, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, everybody ought to have this shirt. I'm pretty much wearing this thing every single day. If I'm at the airport, if I'm walking around anywhere, if I could wear this every day, I have every single color that we have. I think I got a red one, I got a blue one, I got a green one, I got a black one, and I got a blue, red. I think I got all the colors. So if you want to get one of these shirts, I'm an entrepreneur. Go to valuetainmentstore.com. If you go to valuetainmentstore.com, you can order your own shirt there and put it on. And when you do get it, take a picture and tag us, whether it's on Instagram, you can tag me on Instagram, or take a picture on Snapchat and send it to me, Michelangelo. Let's put my Snapchat code up here, BetDavid19. You can follow it. And then if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you got any questions about this, post your questions and comments on the bottom. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.